May 14th, 2025. A commercial satellite roams over the Lop Nur desert, often referred to as China's Area 51, the test site of the nation's most highly classified military technology, including 45 nuclear weapons. Suddenly, at the top-secret facility in Malan, it captures something that will send shockwaves through Western intelligence agencies. There, in broad daylight, is a mysterious machine. No cockpit, no air intakes, a wingspan of 170 feet, rivaling that of a B-2 bomber. Whatever it is, China has either just made the biggest security mistake in decades, or it wants the world to see. The Malan facility sits at one of the most hostile places on Earth, the Lop Nur Desert, in the extremely arid Xinjiang province in China's far west. Lop Nur has long been known as the Forbidden Zone, once part of the Silk Road and home to ancient civilizations. Since water resources dried up, it's become a barren no man's land, which has claimed the lives of several adventurers and explorers who have attempted to cross it. In 1959, Lop Nur was chosen to be the epicenter of China's nuclear weapons program, with Malan as its headquarters. Selected with assistance from the Soviet Union, the isolated site offered a perfect place to test nuclear weapons and other classified technology, in the middle of a desolate wasteland devoid of permanent inhabitants and far from prying eyes, drawing comparisons with the United States' famously mysterious Area 51 facility in the Nevada desert. It was at Lop Nur that China carried out its first nuclear bomb test in 1964, followed by its first hydrogen bomb test 3 years later. Over the following decades, this desert shook with a total of 45 nuclear test explosions that helped establish China as a nuclear power. In July 1996, China officially ended nuclear testing, and by 2012, the national government had announced plans for $1 million cleanup campaign in order to transform the Malan nuclear base into a destination for so-called red tourism, the practice of visiting sites significant to communist history. However, while the world was led to believe that Malan's days as a key location for the development of military technology had come to an end, evidence soon began suggesting that the Chinese had other plans. In 2017, satellite imagery revealed that a massive expansion of the site was underway. Since then, more than 30 buildings have been constructed or renovated at the main support base. An electrical substation and several new power lines have gone up. New roads snake across the desert for dozens of miles, connecting previously isolated areas, and deep vertical shafts have been drilled into the earth. Some have suggested that this could point to the Chinese planning to resume nuclear testing in the near future, or perhaps that they already have. Yet whether this proves to be the case or not, further satellite images have revealed something no less worrying: the emergence of next-generation weapons and aircraft. The first clear sign of what China was planning came in 2019. Commercial satellite imagery revealed an extraordinary sight on the tarmac at Malan, an impressive lineup of Chinese military drones arranged like pieces on a chessboard. High-altitude surveillance drones, stealth flying wings, swarm platforms, and rocket-powered experimental aircraft, all displayed together in what appeared to be a deliberate demonstration of China's expanding drone capabilities. The lineup included China's most advanced unmanned systems, the massive Divine Eagle and Soar Eagle high-altitude drones, the smaller but deadly GJ-11 Sharp Sword stealth combat aircraft, and various experimental designs that had never been seen before. But this was just the beginning. Over the following years, satellite imagery showed an acceleration in aircraft testing at the facility. By 2024, multiple GJ-11 Sharp Sword drones were conducting what appeared to be cooperative flight tests, suggesting China was developing tactics for swarm operations and coordination with crewed fighters like the J-20. The aircraft being tested weren't just getting more numerous, they were getting more sophisticated. New variants designed for aircraft carrier operations appeared at the facility. Electronic warfare capabilities were being integrated. Most concerning of all, the aircraft seemed to be testing in coordination with China's most advanced crewed fighters, suggesting an integrated approach to future air combat. Meanwhile, the facility's infrastructure was keeping pace with these developments. The sprawling complex of new hangars that had been constructed since 2017 included some bays measuring over 200 feet in length, structures that rivaled the specialized hangars used to house America's B-2 Spirit stealth bombers. The message was clear: China was preparing to test aircraft of unprecedented size and capability. In May 2025, it became clear what China had been developing. The satellite image, which emerged from Planet Labs, a company operating hundreds of small imaging satellites, showed something that dwarfed everything that had come before. Parked outside one of the massive new hangars at Malan was a flying wing aircraft of extraordinary proportions, with an estimated wingspan of 52 meters, or roughly 170 feet. To put this in perspective, that's nearly as wide as a B-2 Spirit, making it by far the largest stealth drone ever observed. The aircraft's design immediately caught the attention of military analysts. Unlike the smaller drones that had been spotted at Malan in previous years, this machine appeared optimized for entirely different missions, with clipped wingtips angled in a way that suggested advanced stealth characteristics. The wing sweep was less pronounced than America's stealth bombers, pointing to endurance at high altitude as a primary design consideration. Several features set this aircraft apart from anything in the known arsenal. While the fuselage was dominated by its distinctive domed center section, typical of flying wing designs, this one was unusually large, potentially housing advanced satellite communications equipment, sensors, or even the aircraft's propulsion system. There was no visible cockpit, confirming this was an unmanned platform. Perhaps most intriguingly, shadows in the satellite image suggested the presence of small, angled vertical tail surfaces, an unusual feature that would provide stability for such a large flying wing design. The aircraft's length from nose to tail measured approximately 46 feet, giving it a more streamlined profile than traditional bombers. No air intakes were visible in the satellite imagery, suggesting they were carefully hidden or integrated into the leading edge of the aircraft, a hallmark of advanced stealth design. Military experts immediately began comparing the aircraft to America's rumored RQ-180 stealth drone, but this Chinese platform appeared to be in an entirely different class, potentially the largest high-altitude, long-endurance stealth drone ever constructed. Yet what made this sighting particularly significant wasn't just the aircraft's size, but where it was positioned, directly outside one of the facility's largest hangars, clearly visible to commercial satellites, a marked difference from the typically secretive nature of Chinese military programs. The positioning suggested either a major security oversight, or, far more likely, a calculated decision to reveal this capability to the world. As one expert noted, China is fully aware that commercial satellites pass overhead regularly, and they have demonstrated the ability to keep sensitive programs hidden when they choose to. This calculated revelation appears designed to send a message. As tensions rise over Taiwan and broader regional disputes, the timing suggests Beijing wants to show off its growing military capabilities to the United States and its allies. With its high-altitude, long-endurance configuration, this drone could potentially conduct surveillance missions across vast distances in the Pacific, while its stealth features would make detection and interception challenging, even for advanced radar systems. The aircraft's size would allow it to carry sophisticated sensors and communications equipment necessary for extended operations, far from Chinese territory. Nevertheless, potential limitations have also been highlighted. The aircraft's enormous size could actually work against it in some scenarios, making it more detectable than smaller platforms. Additionally, some analysts raise the possibility that this might not be a real aircraft at all. The possibility exists that it's simply a mock-up or decoy, designed to confuse foreign intelligence agencies, rather than represent actual operational capability. Part of China's broader information warfare strategy. What is clear is that China appears to have growing ambitions to challenge America's influence in the Pacific region. The aircraft fits right into China's broader military modernization program, which has included rapid expansion of drone capabilities, stealth fighter development, and naval force expansion. Whether or not this particular platform proves operationally viable, it demonstrates Beijing's willingness to invest heavily in military technologies designed to complicate American operations. American military planners will now have to carefully assess this development before deciding what it means. While the United States maintains significant advantages in operational experience, technological sophistication, and alliance networks, China's rapid military modernization cannot be ignored. The challenge is developing appropriate countermeasures while maintaining American strategic advantages in the region. But perhaps the most unsettling question isn't what this aircraft can do. It's what else might be hidden in those sprawling new hangars at Malan. If China was willing to reveal a drone of this scale, what capabilities are they still keeping secret? In the high-stakes game of military competition, the weapons you can see are often the least of your worries.